Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Terry Brewer. Lynn Brooks has the evening off. Topping your news tonight, a warning for senior citizens. Scam artists are trying to get your financial information while claiming they are helping with Medicaid changes. The details on what to watch out for are in our top story at 5 o'clock. Tuscaloosa resident Margaret Odom says she received several phone calls from a man claiming he was from the Medicaid office. He said it was time to send her a new Medicaid card and he needed her bank account number and the check routing number. Odom says she knew then it was a scam and hung up, but not after the man called back several times. Tuscaloosa Police Sergeant Brent Blankley says anytime someone wants information about your bank or any numbers from your bank account, it's a scam. Odom says after the cuts to the Medicaid program, most people on Medicaid are already struggling, and falling victim to a scam would be detrimental.
It's so sad because every day somebody's coming up with a new scam, and there's such a tremendous cut, and that's really going to hurt. It's really going to hurt our elderly. And you see the saying many, many times, I have to decide, do I want food, I don't medicine. And sometimes we just don't realize how little some people are living on. And so we have to be very, very careful.
Officer Blankley with TPD also says if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. We'll have much more tonight on that story for you on WVUA News at 6. Also on your Crime Watch, 2 men arrested in connection with the death of a Tuscaloosa woman. This comes more than a year after the victim was found inside a burned home. Michael Cardell Ford and William Stewart are both charged with capital murder in connection with the death of Kristen Robertson. Robertson's body was found April 2nd, 2011 inside her home in Alberta City. It was located at the 600 block of 34th Avenue East. According to Captain Lloyd Baker with the Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Unit, firefighters found Robertson in the home after the fire, and it was determined the fire may have been set in an attempt to cover up evidence of a crime. Baker said recent events led to these arrests.
Monday, another tip came in through another officer, and that tip led us to the identity of the murder suspects and resulted in an arrest.
Both men are being held without bond. And Tuscaloosa police are on the hunt for this man. Ladarius Markel Rice is wanted for burglary. Police say Rice is aware they're looking for him and will run. Now, if you know his location, you can call Crime Stoppers. Here's the number. It's 205-752-STOP, or you can text TUSC and his location to 274-637. Crimes. If your tips lead to an arrest, police say you will receive a cash reward. Now an update on the state of Alabama's farmers. As we've reported, some farmers in Alabama have said the state's immigration crackdown has put the pinch on many farmers' plans to plant produce this year. Now some say instead of having crops rot in the field like last year, they're planting less because they're afraid there won't be enough workers to pick crops at harvest time. Alabama's Agriculture Commissioner John McMillan was in Tuscaloosa today, and we asked him about the situation. Here's what he had to say.
In short term, that's not a direct impact on food prices, but if, for example, if every state in the country did what Alabama and a few of these states have done in trying to address this issue, which certainly needs addressing, we'd see food prices, we'd see food shortages.
An Alabama Farmers Federation expert says this year will be vital in determining the size of Alabama's labor shortage and its potential cost to consumers. Well, it's an interesting statistic when it comes to social media and how it affects your marriage. According to the magazine Smart Money, more than a third of the divorce filings last year contained the word Facebook. Now, while most people use Facebook to keep in touch with old friends, some people wind up in hot water by connecting with old flames or maybe even a new one. Tuscaloosa attorney John Fisher says the mention of social media outlets have been on the rise in the amount of divorces filed. He said social media has made it easy for some people to pursue what they believe is greener grass on the other side. But Fisher warns those postings can come back to haunt you.
People can track what you're doing. I mean, people put the most insane personal information about what they're doing here and now, and a lot of times that information should not be published when you're going through the middle of a divorce, and it often can be used and is used against one party or the other.
Now, according to the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, more than 80% of U.S. divorce attorneys say they've seen a rise in the number of cases involving social networking. Well, your piece of information could be the missing link investigators need to catch a suspect. Here's this week's Tuscaloosa County's Most Wanted.
Hello, my name is Ted Sexton, the Sheriff of Tuscaloosa County. Thanks to your help, we have 3 captures in this week's Tuscaloosa County's Most Wanted. Anthony Devon Brown was arrested on the charge of kidnapping and other charges. Calvin Tedrell Harris was arrested on burglary 1, robbery 3, and other charges. Leroy Lonzo Whitson was arrested on the charge of rape in the first degree and other charges. Thanks to your help, those 3 captures now make a total of 392. We need your help now in finding more Tuscaloosa County's Most Wanted. Eddie Lee Poe III. He's wanted on charge of rape in the second degree. He's a black male, 22 years of age, 5'5", 130 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, and last known to be living on 26th Avenue East in Tuscaloosa. Frank Paul Worrell. He's wanted on charge of violation of Sex Offender Notification Act. He's a white male, 43 years of age, 5'7", 155 pounds, with brown hair and green eyes. Last known to be living in the 900 block of Kennedy Mill Road in Tuscaloosa. Terrell Lamont Johnson is wanted on charge of robbery in the first degree. He's a black male, 21 years of age. He's 6'4", 175 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Last known to be living on Virginia Drive in Tuscaloosa. If you have any information on these as well as others wanted by the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office, please call us at 205-464-8672 or go to our website at www.tcsoal.org. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And working together, we'll continue to make Tuscaloosa County a safer place to live.
Well, there's some good news for Alabama's coast. Shrimp season is opening early. State officials say state waters will open to shrimping May 30th for brown shrimp. It usually comes the second week of June, but officials say a warm winter had early spawning, allowing shrimp to reach legal size earlier than normal. The Alabama Seafood Marketing Commission says the early opening is perfect timing because it's happening the same time as tourism season kicks off on Memorial Day weekend. Brown shrimp is the most plentiful species on the Alabama coast, with 25 million pounds landed annually. Well, a wedding is a moment a couple always remembers, and for one set of newlyweds, theirs had a special twist from Mother Nature. Caleb and Kendra Pence finished their ceremony at a Kansas farmhouse just as tornadoes were touching down about 8 miles away. Look at that. The bride said the twisters made for some great wedding pictures. You can see them just as they dropped from the sky and barreled across the fields, and thankfully nobody at the party was hurt. Amazing.